Hi guys, welcome to my study compass. In this video, I'll be walking you through the past paper, Math P2, Variant 2, May-June 2020. Let's get started. Write down the order of rotational symmetry of the diagram. When we rotate the diagram 180 degrees, it looks exactly like the original. And when we rotate it another 180 degrees, we come back to the original. And so the order of rotational symmetry is 2. At noon, the temperature in Maseru was 21 degrees Celsius. At midnight, the temperature had fallen by 26 degrees Celsius. Work out the temperature at midnight. To get the temperature at midnight, we subtract 26 degrees Celsius from 21 degrees Celsius. This gives us -5 degrees Celsius. AB equals BC and ABD is a straight line. Find the value of x. Angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees, and so when we subtract 50 degrees from 180 degrees, we get this angle as 130 degrees. Since the lengths of AB and BC are equal, then it means these base angles are equal. All the angles in triangle ABC must add up to 180 degrees, and so 2x plus 130 degrees should be equal to 180 degrees. When we simplify this and make x the subject, we get 25 degrees. Write down a square number greater than 10. One of these square numbers is 16. Write down an irrational number. An irrational number is a number that cannot be expressed as a fraction. Square root of 2 is an example of an irrational number. Y equals mx plus c. Find the value of y when m equals -3, x equals -2, and c equals -8. All we need to do is substitute the given values into the equation. This gives us y equals -3 times -2 plus -8. When we type this into the calculator, we get -2. Calculate the area of the trapezium. The area of a trapezium is half of a plus b times h. A is the top length of the trapezium, and that is 11 centimeters. B is the bottom length, which is 7 centimeters, and h is the perpendicular height, which is 5 centimeters. When we type this into the calculator, we get 45 centimeters squared. On the Venn diagram, shade the region A intersection B. A intersection B is the region common to sets A and B, and all we need to do is shade that region. Write 2 raised to the power -4 as a decimal. When we type 2 raised to the power -4 on the calculator, we get 0.0625. The bearing of B from A is 105 degrees. Find the bearing of A from B. On the diagram, the bearing of B from A has been indicated with an orange arrow, and the bearing of A from B has been indicated with a blue arrow. This angle is equal to 360 degrees minus an angle which we have represented as alpha. Since these two are interior angles and the sum of interior angles is 180 degrees, alpha is 180 degrees minus 105 degrees, which gives us 75 degrees. So now the bearing of A from B is 360 degrees minus 75 degrees, which is 285 degrees. Simplify. P over 2q times 4pq over t. Q cancels out. 2 goes into itself once and goes into 4 2 times. So for the numerator, we now have p times 2p, which is 2p squared, divided by 1 times t, which is t. And so our final answer here is 2p squared over t. Without using a calculator, work out 1/3/4 minus 11/12. You must show all your working and give your answer as a fraction in its simplest form. So first, we need to convert the mixed fraction 1/3/4 into an improper fraction. And so we have 4 times 1, which is 4, plus the numerator, which is 3, giving us 7. Then we divide it by 4. For these two fractions, the LCM is 12. 4 goes into 12 3 times. 3 multiplied by 7 is 21. 12 goes into 12 1 time. 1 multiplied by 11 is 11. 21 minus 11 is 10. So we have 10/12. 2 goes into 10 5 times and 2 goes into 12 6 times. And so our final answer here is 5/6. Roberto buys a toy for $5. He then sells it for $4.60. Calculate his percentage loss. The percentage loss is equal to the loss, which is the difference between the selling price and the original price, divided by the original price times 100%. The loss is 5 minus $4.60 and the original price is $5. When we type this into the calculator, we get 8%. Simplify. 8t raised to the power 8 divided by 4t raised to the power 4. We have 8 divided by 4, and for the t terms, their powers subtract. 8 divided by 4 is 2. And 8 minus 4 is 4. And so our final answer here is 2t raised to the power 4. Solve the equation. 1 minus x over 3 equals 5. 3 is dividing, and so when we move it to the other side, it goes to multiply. This gives us 1 minus x equals 3 times 5, which is 15. We want to make x positive, so we can move it to the other side of the equation, then also move plus 15 to the other side, and this becomes negative 15. 1 minus 15 is negative 14. Ella's height is 175 centimeters. Correct to the nearest 5 centimeters. Write down the upper bound of Ella's height. When we correct her height to 5 centimeters, we bring plus and minus 5 centimeters, then divide it by 2. To get the upper bound, we ignore the minus, which gives us 175 plus 5/2 centimeters, which is equal to 177.5 centimeters. Calculate 3 times 10 raised to the power negative 3 all cubed. Give your answer in standard form. If we apply the laws of indices here, we can rewrite this as 3 cubed times 10 raised to the power negative 3 all cubed. 3 cubed is 27, and for the powers of 10, we have negative 3 times 3, which is negative 9. This can't be our final answer because 27 is greater than 9. To get it to a value less than 9, we divide 27 by 10. This gives us 2.7. Since we've divided 27 by 10, then we also need to multiply 10 raised to the power negative 9 by 10, which is the same as 10 raised to the power negative 9 plus 1. Negative 9 plus 1 is negative 8, and so our final answer here is 2.7 times 10 raised to the power negative 8. A train of length 105 meters takes 11 seconds to pass completely through a station of length 225 meters. Calculate the speed of the train in kilometers per hour. The speed of the train is equal to the total distance the train traveled divided by the time it took to travel that distance. From the illustration, we have shown that if we pick the front of the train as the reference point, then we see that for the train to completely pass through the station, the total distance it's traveled is 225 plus 105 meters. We've been given the time duration as 11 seconds. To convert meters to kilometers, we divide by 1000, and to convert from seconds to hours, we divide by 3600. When we type this into the calculator, we get 108 kilometers per hour. Describe fully the single transformation that maps triangle T onto triangle U. When we take a look at triangle T and its image, triangle U, we can tell straight away that this is an enlargement by a scale factor of -half. We have a negative scale factor because the image is flipped. Now we need to find the center of enlargement, and we can do this by connecting at least two corresponding points on both triangles. When we do this, we get the center of enlargement as 3, 4. And so the full description here is enlargement by a scale factor of -half about the center 3, 4. Make y the subject of the formula. H squared equals x squared plus 2y squared. When we move x squared to the other side of the equation, it becomes minus x squared. 2 multiplies y squared, and so when it goes to the other side, it goes to divide h squared minus x squared. To make y the subject, we take square root of both sides of the equation. This leaves us with y equals plus and minus square root of h squared minus x squared divided by 2. A, B, C, and D lie on the circle center O. TA is a tangent to the circle at A. Angle ABC equals 131 degrees and angle ADB equals 20 degrees. Find angle ADC. Opposite angles in a cyclic quadrilateral add up to 180 degrees. And so we have angle ADC plus 131 degrees equals 180 degrees. This gives us angle ADC equals 49 degrees. Find angle AOC. Chord AC subtends an angle of 49 degrees at the circumference of the circle and subtends another angle at the center of the circle, which is angle AOC. This means that angle AOC is 2 times 49 degrees, which is equal to 98 degrees. Find angle BAT. Based on the alternate segment theorem, angle BAT is the same as angle BDA, which is 20 degrees. And so angle BAT is also equal to 20 degrees. Find angle OAB. We know that the angle the radius makes with the tangent is 90 degrees. And so to get angle OAB, we subtract angle BAT, which is 20 degrees, from 90 degrees. This gives us 70 degrees. Simplify. 5x raised to the power 4, all raised to the power 3. This can be rewritten as 5 cubed times x raised to the power 4 all cubed. 5 cubed is 125. The powers of x multiply, so 3 times 4 gives us 12. And so we have 125x raised to the power 12 as our final answer. Simplify. 256x raised to the power 256, all raised to the power 3 over 8. This can be rewritten as 256 raised to the power 3 over 8 times x raised to the power 256, all raised to the power 3 over 8. 256 raised to the power 3 over 8 is 8. The powers of x multiply, so 256 times 3 over 8 is 96. And so our final answer here is 8x raised to the power 96. P is directly proportional to Q plus 2 all squared. When Q equals 1, P equals 1. Find P when Q equals 10. In mathematical terms, we write P is directly proportional to Q plus 2 all squared. This can be rewritten as P equals K times Q plus 2 all squared. We can find the value of K by substituting the values of P and Q given in the question. This gives us 1 equals K times 1 plus 2 squared. 1 plus 2 squared is 9. When we divide both sides by 9, we have K equals 1 over 9. So now, when Q equals 10, P is equal to 1 over 9 times 10 plus 2 all squared. This gives us P equals 16. By drawing suitable lines and shading unwanted regions, find the region R where x is greater than and equal to 2, y is greater than and equal to x, and 2x plus y is less than and equal to 8. For the first inequality, we need to draw the line x equals 2. Then for the second inequality, we draw the line y equals x. And for the final inequality, we draw 2x plus y equals 8. After drawing these lines, we can start shading the unwanted regions. For x is greater than and equal to 2, the wanted region is above or to the right of x equals 2, and so we shade the region below or to the left of x equals 2. For y is greater than and equal to x, the wanted region is above y equals x, and so we shade the region below y equals x. For 2x plus y is less than and equal to 8, the wanted region is below 2x plus y equals 8, and so we shade the region above the line. After shading all the unwanted regions, the final wanted region that satisfies all three inequalities is left unshaded. This is the region we label as R. Find the largest value of x plus y in the region R. This value is the peak of the region R, where x is 2 and y equals 4, giving us a maximum of x plus y as 6. To confirm this, you can test out the other two vertices of region R, and you will find that their values of x plus y is below 6. The diagram shows a sector of a circle of radius 8 centimeters. The length of the arc PQ is 6.4 centimeters. Find the area of the sector. We know the formula for finding the area of a sector. We've been given the radius of the circle as 8 centimeters. We don't know the value of theta, but since we've been given the arc length of the sector, we can easily find the value of theta. The arc length, which is 6.4, is equal to theta over 360 degrees times 2 pi times the radius, which is 8. 2 pi times 8 is 16 pi. When we make theta the subject of the equation and type the resulting expression into the calculator, we get 45.8366 degrees. Now that we have the value of theta, the area of the sector is equal to 45.8366 degrees divided by 360 degrees times pi times 8 squared. When we type this into the calculator, we get 25.6 centimeters squared. Correct to three significant figures. Simplify. 2x squared plus x minus 15 divided by ax plus 3a minus 2bx minus 6b. For the numerator, we can rewrite x as 6x minus 5x. In the denominator, the first two terms have a in common. When we factor that out, we are left with x plus 3. The final two terms have negative 2b in common. When we factor that out, we are left with x plus as 3. In the numerator, the first two terms have 2x in common. When we factor that out, we have x plus 3. The final two terms have -5 in common, and when we factor that out, we are left with x plus 3. After the factorization in the denominator, we can rewrite it as a minus 2b times x plus 3. The numerator can also be rewritten as 2x minus 5 times x plus 3. X plus 3 cancels out in the numerator and the denominator. This leaves us with 2x minus 5 divided by a minus 2b. The cube root of y squared is equal to the 6th root of x, and y is equal to the nth root of x. Find the value of n. To find the value of n, we need to rewrite the equation as powers of x so that we can compare the indices. So first, we replace y with n root x. N root x can be rewritten as x raised to the power 1 over n, and 6 root x can be rewritten as x raised to the power 1 over 6. The powers of x multiply, so we have 1 over n times 2, which gives us 2 over n. The cube root of x raised to the power 2 over n can be rewritten as x raised to the power 2 over n, all raised to the power 1 over 3. The powers of x multiply, so we have 2 over n times 1 over 3, which is 2 over 3n. So now that we have the equation in this form, we can compare the indices of x. This gives us 2 over 3n equals 1 over 6. From here, when we cross multiply, we have 3n equals 12. And when we divide both sides by 3, we get n equals 4. The diagram shows a cuboid. AB equals 8 centimeters, AD equals 6 centimeters, and DH equals 6 centimeters. Calculate angle HAF. Angle HAF has been indicated on the diagram. We can find the lengths of all the sides of triangle HAF. This means we can apply the cosine rule to find angle HAF. When we apply the cosine rule to triangle HAF and make angle HAF the subject of the equation, this is what we get. When we apply the Pythagoras theorem to triangle HGF, we get the length of HF as square root of 8 squared plus 6 squared, which gives us 10 centimeters. When we also apply the Pythagoras theorem to triangle ABF, we get AF as square root of 8 squared plus 6 squared, which gives us 10 centimeters. And then when we also apply the Pythagoras theorem to triangle ADH, we get AH equals square root of 6 squared plus 6 squared, which gives us 6 root 2 centimeters. When we substitute all these values into the equation and type the resulting expression into the calculator, we get angle HAF as 64.9 degrees, correct to 1 decimal place. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video useful. See you in the next video. Bye guys.